Welcome, friends, to this particular session on changing the mindset to achieve peak performance on daily basis. Friends, this is an important question. Mindset is what actually is helping us to look at the world, look at whether the working world or our personal world. And that view is actually driving us day after day after day and impacting us in terms of our health, wealth, and happiness. So let's take a quick look as what has happened in last maybe 10, 15, 20 years. And yes, we all are aware that there have been fantastic change, tremendous change, mind-boggling change in the way the world is running. The businesses are running. The relationships are being looked after, maintained, cared for. The technology has come in a big way, and everything is changed. 30 years ago, if I were to recall my earlier days, everything was so stable. We believed in working with a company for lifetime. And most of the people were so happy working with whatever, wherever they are. In fact, the government jobs were most appreciated and chased by people of our own country. But yes, I think it was late 90s where the globalization started. That's where the competitive spirit had to come into the country, because the global corporates came here and the competition was galore, and the survival of the Indian companies itself was what at stake. And that's where the performance of the corporates became most important. Why? Because the stock market was assessing the company on a second by second basis and rating on the screen. And that was the indication of the success of the company. And when the companies were watched by the stock market analyst and the investment analyst, obviously the CEOs and MDs and CMDs were absolutely on a lookout for the best performance from their top cadre and the junior cadre. Ultimately, that led to the putting the fire on the lower levels. And that's how the competitive spirit really came in and put everybody on caution. So friends, that's the beginning. And then, the technology now. Now, you don't have to go to US to do business. You can sit here and using internet, using digital technology, you can do business all over the world. And today the Indian, not only the companies, the Indian employees are working across the world, sitting in India itself. And that's the power of the digital technology, which has brought some success advantages to us, but then it also brought a lot of competition for our own businesses, because the other side also came into India. Now, this is one. The second element is the information blast, which is happening all over the place, in the corporate world, at the personal world, and that is getting finally impacted on all of us. And when we say all of us, if I were to say if it is impacting me, where is it impacting me first? We never think. We think we work 24/7, but dear friend, who is working 24/7? Yes, you reflect and it is my mind. This fellow is getting the biggest brunt of the new way of working, the new technological challenges, the new global challenges. And this fellow started getting assaulted day and night with the information attack, you may say. At one time, the Indian employees and the bosses were happy after, say, let's say 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. once they reach home. But with the digital technology, with the mobile technology, any time of the day or night, you are to be available to the customer, to the bosses, to manage the emergencies. And that is where, yes, the personal life also has come under stress. So, friend, why change of mental attitude or mindset is required? Because mind has been really getting a huge attack from all over the environment. So let's look at what next we can do. Let me share my presentation and yeah, yes. So yes, we are talking on the subject of change of mindset required to achieve peak performance on a daily basis. Why? Yes. And this is the common site where we see the boss is unhappy with the employee. And if this is happening on a day after day, what is happening to the employee and what is, yes, impact on the boss as well. Now, this is the environment in which we are all working on a daily basis. The stress of pressure of work, because each one is accountable. The bosses are accountable for their own performance, for their own targets, right? The CEO is accountable for his own targets, and that stress brings the stress to the working level. Finally, can an employee keep on working with this stress? Yes, there is a problem. Now, either level, at every level, there is a need to assess, am I going to get the best from my employee or my team member? If you keep having this kind of a stress, so there is a way to possibly manage that. How do I manage my team members? How do I manage myself? That's where we are talking change of mindset. As a boss, yes, I need to find out a better way of managing, because knowing that today, even every team member is at a stress, huge stress, because of the huge turmoil taking place in the environment, right? Just as the boss himself is under a big turmoil, every employee, every team member is. So he need to develop possibly a different way, different mindset to handle his own team members. We'll come to the solution. Let's move to the next. Yeah, let me just briefly tell about my own background. My niche areas are overcoming hurdles and triumphing life by overcoming hurdles, yes. And the peak performance and happiness is my focus area. During last 3 years, I have helped more than 1,800 corporate executives and business experience of 37 years in engineering and construction industry. My mission is helping executives live an empowered and happy life. My motto is people are powerful bundles of ideas and energy. I have authored 2 books, Garden of Hope and Revive and Thrive. Both have Indian and multinational authors sharing their own life hurdles and triumphing, including my own stories. I'm fond of daily spiritual dose, which I have found a huge, empowering, and giving me positivity. And let me tell you, Brahma Kumaris have wonderful session. You may try sometime those programs. This is what is happening on a daily basis at work, in every sphere of our life, and at home as well. Any action leads to reaction. This is Newton's law. So whether it's a matter of you speak something to somebody at work, it is going to go and hit and it may go through number of channels, but whatever you have said, it is going to come back in with that reaction, right? So if your was supportive to the team, then you will get a supportive response. If yours was a kind of a negative remark or negative, you are going to get a negative response, which means that if you are managing your team, let us say as a manager, and if you are not a very easily able to motivate your team, or getting the stretch target results from them, then you are going to sort of get a less of cooperation. But you are a very human centric team builder, kind of a happy-go-lucky boss, and then you are going to get the best of the support from your employees, because each one of them, mind you, is otherwise facing certain difficult moments in their personal life, even with the customers, wherever they go. So if you are like a shining star and you ease in their stress, you help them in finding solution to their problems rather than leaving the problem to themselves. So your human centric, your problem solving approach, your little bit of humor, your getting along well, your inquiring their family and children and their all of those issues can impact their motivation and can bring better results. So this is what is the impact of your every word, your every emotion, your every mindset impact on a daily, on a moment to moment basis, is going to impact your people around you, and you are going to get a corresponding response, a good response or not so good response. And this is going to happen even at home, because even at home, atmosphere is stressed. The children are at stress. They have not been having a good life for last 2 years. Your spouse is also having a kind of a stress. And if she is working, then she has also been going through the similar issues. And you need a very, how do I say, a caring approach, a loving approach, a very humane approach, right? Even at home. So that's where the change of mindset is required. We'll come to that. How do we change? Yes, we will come to that. This is a beautiful one. I found all the unease, unhappiness, and unrest in the world are due to people not able to utilize their potential to fullest extent. Yes, I think this is very easy to understand, but very difficult to digest. Why? Because if we look at our own employees in our companies, each of them, if you ask, he will say or she will say that I'm not able to give my best. Now, this is the irony. We pay them the best, we manage our offices well, but somehow we are not able to create an environment where we can get their best potential out. And remember, each of us is I would say, a conscient human being, meaning we say Chaitanya, we are all living beings. I have a desire, I have emotions, I want to achieve. I'm a live bomb, actually, full of energy within. And I have to use my potential. I have to use my energy. And if I can't use my energy, I will wait for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 1 year maybe, and then finally I will leave. So this is the reason for all the attrition that we all are seeing in the corporate world. And we are all aware. It is not that we are not aware, but we are not possibly accepted, understood the seriousness of this subject, that it is not my aim or my goal. Company's goal is only important. My employee's goal, my employee's potential to be utilized is also my goal. Friends, let us recognize this. Let us appreciate this, Let him be partner in the business in terms of the entire conceptualizing. It is his blood and body and mind coming to work. So we got to honor his living self, his Chaitanya self, I would say, his conscient self. And if you really value that, his energy, like a nuclear energy, is available to the corporate, and he can do wonders. He can get the huge creativity, huge innovation, allow them some freedom. Yes, we got to learn in this new world, in this new technological world, new world with a high flux, where things can change from any moment to any moment. We got to allow them the best of the freedom to test their own knowledge, that's their expertise, let them experiment and see the results. I'm sure the corporates will definitely gain. Now, this is a very powerful statement, and I found that we better understand that. So, we come to the first level where the most difficult part is there, and we got to